Ever feel so completely overwhelmed and exhausted that you don't even know what you want or maybe how to express it? It's one thing as a mom to think we know what we want, but amidst the tiredness and exhaustion of raising littles, it can get a little cloudy to see and actually define what it is we need or how to communicate it properly, like say to our husbands, yeah, totally been there, mama. Today, I'm officially your second brain. I'm going to help you clear those cloudy skies and actually bring some words to those hidden desires you have. I am bringing clarity to you with 7 things that most of us tired moms actually want and need. 7 things you can think over, pray over, and see if this is in fact exactly where you are right now in life, and to see that you're not alone in this. Let's dive in, mama.
Hey mama, welcome to Mom Nation. Do you want a better work-life balance and more time and energy? Do you find yourself thinking, how can I add more hours into the day? Or Googling, how to deal with mom guilt and can my marriage survive toddlers? Do you wake up with big goals only to feel overwhelmed and alone and you have no one to help you and your littles aren't listening to you again? Hey, I'm Cheyanne. I too was an exhausted mom away from my family. I too felt drained with a strong-willed toddler and wished I could find balance between being a wife, mom, stepmom, and entrepreneur. I wanted more energy to give my husband, to discipline my kids well, and incorporate Jesus into our home. But I kept telling myself that I just couldn't do it without a community around me. Until I found balance and confidence in raising Jesus-loving littles. In this podcast, you will find time and energy management help, tips for disciplining, and what to do when you have no village, so that you will find balance between all of your roles and trust your own mom tuition. Time to grab those headphones, mama, pour that green smoothie, and get ready to be mom-inspired. You're no longer alone.
So when I first became a biological mom to my son in March of 2020, it was really hard for me to come to terms with all of the things that I was feeling. My son was a newborn, COVID had just happened, my bonus daughter moved in with us full time. So suddenly I was a new mom with 2 kids, a preteen, a newborn, all in the midst of this worldwide pandemic where none of us really knew what the heck was going to happen and what was going on. And I remember feeling just super on demand all the time. Like even though life was a little bit slower inside of the 4 walls of a home, that doesn't always happen. Even if the world is asleep or the world has slowed down inside our homes, it can feel so busy, right? And so overwhelming. So I realized I very often was getting frustrated with my husband for not helping me here. You know, I felt like I am so tired and I'm getting more tired from being tired and thinking these things all over. And I realized what I needed to do was actually get real with myself and quantify, to actually speak out, what are these things that I'm actually feeling? Like, what do I actually want as a mom feeling this exhausted right now? And how can I communicate these things? So as they say in any 12-step program, the first step is what? Admitting that you have a problem. Did we all say that out loud together? I hope we just did. But also acknowledging it and understanding what it is that you want. So today, if you're too tired to even try to think about what you want, that's what I'm here for. And I'm going to list 7 different things, 7 different, very common things that mamas that are very tired and just in the thick of raising littles actually want. So the first one I think is very easy for us all to relate to. It's more sleep, right? As tired moms, new moms, we often feel sleep deprived, and we want it because we know that there's a benefit from getting more restful and uninterrupted sleep. Now, more sleep for any tired mama might be the most obvious one, but it doesn't make it any less important or critical to communicate and to understand if this is actually what you need to benefit from more rest and more energy in your life. Number 2 is help with childcare, right? So many tired moms, including myself, we may want support with childcare. And some of that is also why we're so tired, is we feel guilt about that. But that's something that we don't need to have and we don't need to take on. Having help like a babysitter or a family member who can help care for the children when we want to take a break is very often something that so many moms want and arguably so many moms need so they can get the rest that they also so desperately need for their body body, for their recovery, and for their long-lasting energy. Point number 3, cue the music, is quality time with their partner, right? How many of us don't even know how to speak that out or quantify it, right? And we often get so exhausted because we have this desire inside that we want to spend more quality time with our husbands, whether it's going on a date night or even a weekend getaway. But again, it can be hard to acknowledge and understand when we're in the midst of raising these littles that we put so much of our energy and so much of our focus on. I recently had a guest that I was interviewing for my podcast right here, and she reminded me that for her, at least in her house, that her priority is God first, husband second, kids third, then business. And I thought, wow, that's so powerful, because especially as new moms, when we're first transitioning into our motherhood role, it can be so easy to get our priorities out of balance. So that's something that, as a tired mom, finding out what your priorities are is a great way to stop that mental exhaustion and get through it together. And hey, lead your partner into doing the same thing, because chances are, if you guys are newer parents, if you have toddlers in the home, he might actually be quite tired too. Here we are at number 4 already. So we are flying through this list. Number 4 is self-care activities. Yes, tired mamas, we very often have that desire to engage in self-care activities, right? That help us feel naturally more relaxed and refreshed. So I'm not talking about that self-care, that we're chugging a bottle of wine or things like that. Hey, that may be a version of self-care, but I'm talking about those things that we desire that will bring more relaxation and refreshment, which is something like maybe, say, getting a massage or taking a yoga class, something completely separate from our everyday go, mom focus, kid focus, wife focus, household focus activities. No wonder we're so tired, because we're so often thinking of others, that it could be, if you're feeling tired, that you deep down inside want to participate in some kind of self-care activity. Now, what that is for you, that's something I actually walk my clients through in my course. We talk about what is it that fuels your soul, because there are so many gurus and so many people out there, including myself, right? You're listening to this podcast. Maybe you've been listening for a long time, or this is your first time, that you just want someone to give you this answer. But what's most important is that you define your own self-care activity that you love and that you feel energized at the end. Because when you seek out something that allows you to feel more relaxed and refreshed, that energy is going to go there, is going to be there. So instead of focusing so much on the energy, how can I get more energy? Maybe it's time to think about, how can you become more relaxed and refreshed in your everyday life? Now, thing number 5 may sound a little bit like number 2, which is help with childcare. However, this one's a little more specific on the emotional side of things. Number 5 is support from friends and family. As tired moms, we so often just feel that desire to have emotional support from our friends and family. Someone who can just give you a shoulder to lean on, maybe a shoulder to cry on, maybe both, but that can provide that encouragement and understanding. So there is that separation between the two, because support from friends and family with childcare definitely serves one need, one purpose in your life. But there is that part of us that also desires something more than just the tangible, than the physical help, the physical taking care of. We also need to be taken care of. So that, if you're feeling tired and you're feeling drained, that could be something that you need to look at for your priorities list and see, do I desire more support from friends and family? Do I have support from friends or family? And what can I do about it moving forward? Number 6, enter the mental exhaustion part, because number 6 is tired moms desire simplification of household tasks. Maybe you're a mama that just wants an easier plan for how are you going to clean your home, or maybe meal planning completely overwhelms you, right? Like, first I gotta go research the food and research the dietary restrictions of my family. Then I've got to create a grocery list. Then I've got to go get it at the grocery store with a bunch of screaming kids, and then come home and cook it and figure out, how do I make this a meal plan for the week, right? It's like that totally can make you tired and exhausted mentally, but also physically. And so A lot of times when moms are feeling tired, they ultimately want that key word is simplification, want something that can be systemized in their house so that it can reduce your workload, free up time for those other things that we wanted higher up on the list, the self-care and relaxation, and there is nothing wrong with that. And we've made it to the number 7 thing that you as a tired mom may actually want is creative outlets, right? Basically, life outside of being a mom. So often tired moms, we feel like we have to put ourselves on the back burner and it's always about the kids. But we have these perhaps innate desires that we want to pursue, especially creative activities or hobbies. It could look something as simple as painting or writing or journaling, or just something that provides a break from our everyday daily routine and an opportunity to express ourselves in a new way. When we become a mom, we are birthed into this new person as well, right? It's like we don't just bring a new person into the world with our baby, but we bring this new person of ourselves into this world. And I know from my own experience, I had so much development and growth going on that I knew I had to share it. I had to express it somewhere. By not expressing it, I was actually making myself more tired and drained because I felt like I had to keep up with this old image of myself where I was someone completely new and different and I needed it to be expressed. And there you go, mama. That was 7 things that tired moms actually want. We put words to it, and now it's your opportunity to go do something about it. As a quick review, the 7 things that tired moms actually want is more sleep, help with childcare, quality time with their partner, self-care activities, support from friends and family, simplification of household tasks, and creative outlets. Now, I want you guys to go ahead and pause this and write those down and come back and tell me in my Facebook group or in a review, what was the one that stood out to you the most? Which one do you feel taking away from your energy? Which one do you feel is draining you so much? I want to know ultimately, so then I can help you, encourage you, and help you remember that every mama out there, every tired mom is unique, and you may have different wants and needs, and that's totally okay. What's most important is that we listen to our own individual needs and we then seek support and understanding so that we can feel more refreshed and energized. So when you're ready with your top thing that you want to change in your life, come tell me in my Facebook group. You'll find the link below. It's a totally free community where moms just like you, moms of littles who are seeking more energy to find balance and raise Jesus loving littles, are all gathered in one place and encouraging each other every single day of the week. You also can go ahead and leave me a review right here at the bottom of the episode. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and let me know what you thought about this episode and which one of these you're going to decide I'm going to work on, because I would love to help you along in that path. Thank you guys so much for listening to an episode of the Energized Mama podcast, and I can't wait to see you on another one. God bless, Mama.